Network, it's Ask This Engineer.
Hey everybody, and welcome to yet another 2017 edition of Ask Engineer. It's me, Lady Ada, the engineer. With me, as always, is Mr. Lady Ada. We're here at the Adafruit factory where we do all the manufacturing, design, shipping, testing, creation, graphics, all the good stuff that you know and love. It all happens here, downtown Manhattan, in the factory.
They said it couldn't be done.
They said it couldn't be done. Not possible, they said. Well, we did it anyways because we just didn't know better.
Yeah.
And we have an exciting show for you tonight with all sorts of news, discount codes, new products, and more.
That's right.
Tell them what's on tonight's show.
On tonight's show, the code is CircuitPython will be announcing our new open source derivative of MicroPython made for hardware and education and more. We're going to be debuting it, and you can share in the fun by saving 10% off your order on checkout.
Including some of the boards that run CircuitPython.
Everything is 10% off that's in stock except for gift certificates, AdaBox, and software. So that's the code for tonight. Show and tell. People around the world showing and sharing their projects. Lady Ada will go over the folks that were on the show and tell right before we started this show, Ask an Engineer, just a few moments ago. Pack of mailbags and stop by, read some letters that you sent to us. Time travel, back in the world of hackers, makers, artists, engineers, pioneers, and all sorts of cool folks. Some made in NYC, some scenes from the Adafruit factory. Nimbus, the friendly cloud entity, is going to stop by, and we have some Adafruit I/O news. 3D printing, new products. We're going to answer your questions. We have a top secret.
2 maybe.
Yeah. We have a trivia question, all that and more on Ask an
Dun-dun.
Engineer. Yeah, what's going on? Okay. So that's what's happening.
Can't wait.
Yeah. So
It's a fun-filled hour.
it is. So once again, code CircuitPython, 10% off Adafruit store. That supports all these cool folks. This is Adafruit, our holiday photo.
Look at all these nice people.
Yeah, this is what we do. They have like 401ks and benefits and all sorts of things. So let's do some show. Programming note. Don't forget, this is Ask an Engineer every Wednesday at 8 p.m. And show and tell we do every Wednesday also. 7:30 p.m. We still have our free deal going on right now on checkout. $200 or more. It's UPS ground in the continental U.S. And then you get one of these amazing pins. So those are still available. We also have same-day shipping in Manhattan on checkout. When you put your zip code in, it'll tell you if you have same-day available. And a special note. Adafruit will not be shipping orders Monday, January 16th, 2017. Any orders after 11 a.m. Eastern Time on Friday, January 13th, will go out on Tuesday, January 17th. The reason is...
Yeah, why?
The reason is it's Martin Luther King Day, and that is a paid holiday here at Adafruit. And you'll see some posts and more. This is one of our favorite quotes. All labor that uplifts humanity has dignity and importance and should be undertaken with painstaking excellence. I ran some stats because a lot of startups and maker companies and just general business is look at Adafruit. And sometimes they want to look at our designs, copy our code and our hardware because it's good.
They love doing that.
Love doing that. But we're also hoping that they copy other things. And as of right now, only 34% of non-manufacturing employers give a paid holiday on Monday.
Okay.
Only 10% of manufacturing companies give their workers a paid holiday on Martin Luther King Day on Monday. 45% of companies with at least 1,000 people have made the day a paid holiday. Only 34% of smaller organizations will do so. And one of the things that we did at Adafruit is we additionally added, because Martin Luther King Day is like the ultimate American holiday. Every country has an Independence Day, they have a Memorial Day, they have some type of Labor Day, but there's only one Martin Luther King Day. And that's it. That's in America.
It is a very interesting and unusual. It's not a president.
That's right.
It's not Independence Day. It's not all soldiers or all labor. It's an individual who changed this country for the better.
So if you work for a company, put it in the suggestion box. It is something, it started becoming a paid holiday in like 86, I think. And slowly over time, other companies and more recognize it. But it is a federal holiday. It is something that it's not a sit home and day off type of day. It's a day of service. So one of the things that we decided to do is, in addition to having Martin Luther King Day as a paid holiday for Adafruit team members, we added 3 paid days off for charity. So if anyone at Adafruit wants to donate their time to a 501(c), Adafruit pays for that. So all they have to do is say, here's the 501(c). They fill out a form here, and they get the paid day off at Adafruit, up to 3 per year, to do charity work in their community. So we're hoping other companies copy this.
It's a good idea.
Because the way that we do things and the quality and kind of the spirit and the values, it comes from happy people that feel rewarded and fulfilled, and the company cares about them. And also there's a social cause with Adafruit is to celebrate all the types of diversity that we have in the world of science and technology and art and all that. So anyways, if you work for a maker company and you have a suggestion box or whatever, make a suggestion. Monday is a day of service, should be a day off.
Yeah.
Make the world a better place, because it might not happen unless you do it.
It's true.
So that's what we got going on. So again, just watch out for your orders at Adafruit. After Friday at 11 a.m. They won't ship till Tuesday. Okay. Show and tell, Lady Ada.
Yes.
Who was on the show and tell?
Well, we had some people
What'd
for
they
this,
share?
for this. Yeah, we had
What'd they
some
do?
new people and some return favorites. Start off with Noah and Pedro from Adafruit Southeast. They built this week's project is a fidget spinner, which is very simple but very satisfying. They actually did some really cool T-splines to make like a beautiful Adafruit flower, like curved spinner, and showed how to do the supports for it. And it looks really cool. Like it's kind of pushing the, like if you're going to make something so simple, you might as well make it look really good. And they also show how to use a ball bearing. You can use a generic 608 ZZ ball bearing and then just replace the grease to make it really spin well. And that's this week's project. We have a video about that as well. Richard A. Has been working on his cloud project. It's a cloud, like it's a fluffy cloud that he has.
The cloud in the cloud.
It's a cloud, and it's a Raspberry Pi with an MQTT server, and he's running Home Assistant. He's using it for localized data storage. So, if you have internet or Bluetooth or Wi-Fi, you can use Adafruit I/O. But if you're not connected to the internet, you might want to have a local server. It could be good for maybe you're not allowed to put your data on the internet, or maybe you're doing field work. So he's showing you how to make your own MQTT server, so you can maybe use it with Adafruit I/O type projects that you host yourself, which is great. People should do that. Sally Byers came by. She doesn't come by often, but she did this time, which made it extra special.
She's renovating.
She was renovating.
They passed inspection.
She's renovating. They passed inspection. They have a new room in the house, and she made beautiful Christmas sequin stockings that had like these snow-covered trees, and the snow was sparkling
cool.
with LED sequins. She used an Arduino Nano and our PWM drivers to drive the LED. So each one is individually driven. It was I think she had 2 drivers, so probably 32 total LEDs.
Yeah.
Phil B. Came by and showed off the eyes demo. It's the new product for this week, and he just talked a little bit about the design of that. It's a really cool Raspberry Pi bonnet. And John Park came by and showed off his final Lucio Blaster. I mean, it's awesome. 3D printed, speakers, LEDs. All the files are released online for free. You can build it yourself. It has a background sound and also like sound effects, and it has like multiple modes and like fast mode and like special mode,
Yeah.
and Healy mode, and like I don't even play Overwatch, but I can tell how cool
Yeah,
it is.
we'll be showing a video
He
tonight.
looks like so realistic too. Like
Yeah.
it looks like it's
wait,
rendered because it's got that.
Oh no, we have the mystery box tonight. Sorry.
Yeah,
We
last
showed the
week
video. We
yeah.
showed the video last week. Yeah.
We showed off in real life. And then Brian is in Hawaii, and he made an RGB matrix hat with a Raspberry Pi display using RSS feeds and weather XML, so he gets warnings when it's going to be a weather warning in Hawaii, because he has to worry about that, tsunamis and hurricanes and floods, I don't know, all sorts of issues.
Yep.
So he built a really cool display. It's like really big too. It was like 4 feet long.
Yeah.
Raspberry Pi driven, and yeah, it had updates, and then you can send it message through a web XML feed thing as well. So it's like a really nice full color display, and looks really neat. And finally, C. Scott came by. He has a phase shifter that he's working on. He had the flu, so he's catching up on projects. The phase shifter is from a 1975 design. He built a whole fully through-hole design. But then he was thinking of maybe using the Feather M0 with I2S DAC, and so he made a small modification to the Feather M0 to add an M clock line so we could do oversampling. And it's something actually I've been thinking about myself. So we might modify the Feather M0 to add that, and that's the news from the show and tell.
Okay. All participants on the show and tell get an as seen on the show and tell sticker. All you need to do is come on the show, and then afterwards email support@adafruit.com, and we will send you out a sticker. This is part of the Adafruit live series. We did a couple Deaths of Lady Ada this week. I have a little like sped up version. There's a little bit of music in the background, but we could talk over it. So what we did is we got this really powerful microscope, and that's a less than like 2 millimeter neopixel, and you can see the wire bonds on it. And we explored magnification on a neopixel, and it looks really beautiful. It's almost like organic-y, like alien looking. And then we looked at some other boards.
Normal 0603 LEDs, so you can kind of see the wire bonding there. And then I got we got your iPhone.
And then we did a color sensor, and you can see the color grid.
Yeah.
Which is really neat.
We zoomed in, and you can see the IR and color grid. And then we looked at some other sensors, and then a light sensor. And then more NeoPixel fun. And then we looked at an RF board, and we looked at like a 402 and a 201 components. And then more NeoPixel fun.
So that's just Lady Ada. You can check that out on youtube.com/Adafruit and see the whole thing. Watch it on full screen. It's really neat. Then I showed a little drone video. I'll show that later. Okay, John Parker's back, and we have this little preview. This is a preview of the mystery box. And
it's hella mysterious.
Yeah, we also have a full video, so let's roll it.
This is a mystery box, the nautical crate. There's no visible way to unlock it. Pretend you're in an escape room, or a scavenger hunt, or perhaps this is part of a magic trick. But one way or another, you've been led to the clue, steer to the N Atlantic. Now, the other clues lead you to find a ship's captain's wheel. The box has the word Atlantic on it. There's one N in Atlantic. Here's what happens when we place the wheel on the box. It now opens to reveal the solution, or perhaps the next clue. What we have here are a king of spades, king of clubs, king of hearts, and a blank card. This must be the next clue. A mystery box is a lot of fun, and it's fairly simple to make. It doesn't require any microcontrollers or programming. In fact, it uses very few components. This one uses a solenoid, a reed switch, a magnet as the key, and some batteries. Let's take a look at the insides of it and see how it works. This is a solenoid. A solenoid is essentially an electromagnetic coil and a shaft or slug that runs through the middle of it. When the coil is charged, it drives the slug in one direction or another, and there's usually a spring attached to one side to return it when the power is removed. When I connect the wires, the shaft pulls back. And this is how we're going to create the locking mechanism for the mystery box. We're going to use a special kind of switch called a reed switch. The way these work is there's a set of metal contacts inside that are normally open. When a magnet travels near enough, those close and therefore close the circuit and will allow our solenoid to close. The way we'll use this in our circuit is to place the reed switch between the power supply and our solenoid. So when a magnet gets nearby, the box will open. This is a cutaway I made of the inside of the box so that we can see it in action. When I use the magnet to trip the solenoid, you can see that there's a brass hook here that catches on the shaft of the solenoid when it closes. So that's what keeps it from lifting open. When we use this magnet, it frees the solenoid from the hook. These are the steps to building the latch mechanism inside of your mystery box. Start a little hole. Just tap that in a little bit to get a hole started. And then you can use a small drill with a drilling bit on the end. Now I'm going to screw in the brass cup hook. Okay, so that seems like a pretty good placement, and what I'm going to do is mount the solenoid to the side of the box with these little mounting ears, and then I'll be able to fine-tune the hook until it works out just right. I'm going to tighten one screw down fairly tight so that I can then test out some angles. What you'll see is that the solenoid, if it's tipped up just a little bit, may engage the hook a little bit better. Also at this point, an important warning. Don't close the box with the wires tucked in there, because if the hook does latch it, you're now going to have a hard time getting back in. So leave it outside so that we can use power to slide the solenoid if necessary. Ah, we got it. So the box is now latched shut, and I can just use the power supply to open that. So now what we'll look at is the placement of the reed switch so that we can trip this circuit from the outside using a magnet. We can test out the reed switch now by splicing it into the solenoid circuit with ground connected directly between the battery pack and the solenoid, and then the reed switch will go between the power leads. Now we can do a little bit of a neatening up job inside of the box here. I'm going to take some hot melt glue and just put a dot of it on the end of the battery pack so that this doesn't shift around inside the box. We can pop that off later if we need to change the batteries. Okay, and then with that in place, you can glue down the wires and the other connectors. So to create the false bottom for this part of the box, what we'll do is just mark off and cut out a piece of cardboard, and then we'll also cut out a small notch so that the brass hook can pass through that position and into the solenoid. So here I'm just going to check where the brass cup hook is going to contact the cardboard, and then I can mark that off to cut out. And now to fancy things up a bit, I'm going to cover this with some felt. You can use adhesive back felt, or you can use some glue and place the felt, I've already pre-cut in this case, over our cardboard and the notch. It's a nice idea to embed the magnet into some other object that can be found, that can be the answer to a previous puzzle perhaps. So what I chose were these resin Christmas tree ornaments. What I did was took one of these, and on the drill I drilled out a little hollow that I could insert my magnet. Then I hot glued that in place, and I even built up a bulb of hot glue in the same round dome shape that was on the other side. Finally, I painted it to match the color to the brown of the paint. So finally, we can use our box in our escape room. I get to use the ornament with the secret magnet to place it over the proper location, open the box, and reveal, hey, where'd he come from? I'm John Park for Adafruit Industries. I hope you've enjoyed the mystery box, the Nautical Crate.
Okay, and Friday Tony D is going to be doing an intro to CircuitPython, which is our open source implementation of MicroPython for education and for making it easy to do hardware. So we did that announcement. You're going to show some of the stuff soon. Here are some of the logos and ideas that we're playing with. You know, we always have to do things that look good in black and white because that's PCBs.
Circuit boards.
So I wanted to make it fun. So we have a couple things we're playing around with.
I like them. This is adorable.
Yeah. So anyways, that's what we're working on right now. And if you like doing code in Python, you're going to really like this.
And I think this is gonna be the way that people learn electronics, because it's actually gonna be so much easier than using Arduino and C, which is like fascinating, because at the time it's like Arduino is like the easiest thing to learn. But what if you can make it even easier?
Yeah. Like one of the features I like that we have on CircuitPython is when you open up the code, and it could just be a text file, and you change it and save it, it automatically runs it. And you can also do neat things. It's called a REPL, and you can code live.
Yep.
And I remember one of the fun projects that you and I did together is we found this game of life code, and we were just like kind of like cutting and pasting and tossing around and constantly saving it and using the REPL. And it was more like it was more artful than...
It was more elegant.
Yeah.
Like you really are painting. Like you as you're writing, the code is running, and because it's interpreted.
It's like live iteration.
Yeah, because it's interpreted, it's like it's very easy to just like paste code, try it, make, like, oh, there's an error in interpretation, you quickly fix it, save it, runs again. So it's able to get the code ported to the NeoPixel library in like under an hour.
Yeah, it was
from
neat.
like just like some code that was completely different.
Yeah.
And I got it all working, and I was like, wow, this was actually kind of fun.
Yeah.
Like with Arduino, I would have been able to do it, but it would have been like a kind of a slog, because even the whole like save, compile, upload.
Yeah, sending something to a microcontroller after you use CircuitPython seems weird. Like
It's like clunky
it's
and
like,
sluggish.
whoa, like I can't believe I used to just like send this binary over the wire. It's
You'd have
weird.
to wait.
Yeah. So one of the cool things about CircuitPython is when you plug in one of our boards, it shows up as a USB drive, and the code is right there.
Yeah.
And you can double click it.
And you can store your code on the board itself.
Yeah. Anyways.
You can even have like a Git repository. You can Git pull and like have a whole file system on there. And
Yeah.
on the boards that we're designing now, we have a 2 megabyte flash chip. That
Yeah. We'll show some of that.
We'll show that.
Okay.
Okay.
Back to mailbag to stop by. All right. These are the emails that we read in our all-company meeting that we do every week called State of the Fruit. This is from Island Bill. Thank you for being knowledgeable and responsive company in the electronics world. I've dropped a plug for you here and there in some forums in the process of working out technical issues with our projects. I hope it translates to increased business for you. Island Bill. Thanks Island Bill. All right. Time travel.
I hope he lives in the mountains.
We're all
He thinks it's a goal.
We're all our own islands. Time travel. So celebrating a couple people this week. 1898, happy birthday, Catherine Blair Blodgett, American physicist and engineer, is born. Catherine was an American scientific researcher. She was the first woman to be awarded a PhD in physics from the University of Cambridge in 1926. After getting her master's degree, she was hired by General Electric to work on, I think, reflective invisible glass. Cool. Happy birthday. Next up. Happy birthday, Catherine McClaney. American computer scientist and academic is born. Catherine is an American computer scientist noted for her research of compilers, runtime systems, and computer architecture. She is also known for her leadership and broadening participation in computing. McKinley was co-chair of the CRAW from 2011-2014.
I think I've read some of her work, but I didn't know that it was just labeled McKinley, so I didn't know it was a woman. That's cool.
Yeah.
All right.
So we have people in our time travel section every week that you probably haven't heard about.
Okay.
Okay, so we added some new tutorials. We had 1,141, but then we added 2 more. So why don't you go through these, and then I'll do the eyes and then the spectacles, and then the spectacle video too.
Yeah, so last week we did the solder dispenser Adabot head. I think that was last week's 3D Thursday project. This week we added Circuit Playground Case for Kits guide. So it's a guide with the script for people who want to read along. It also has the video and some screenshots. So it's just like an accompaniment for the Case for Kits video. We also have that guide for the tutorial video you just watched from John Park, the mystery box nautical crate, gives you all the parts and wiring diagrams, all that to put it together. And the 3D printed fidget spinner that we also talked about, Noah and Pedro made for 3D Hangouts this week. You can customize it, but the Adafruit flower actually works really well because it's symmetric, so it spins very nicely.
Yeah. Okay, and then we just added 2 more. These are the Snake Eyes bonnet for Raspberry Pi.
Yep.
And
this is for
we're going
the
to
new
show that
product.
later too.
Yeah, we're going to show this off. This is the tutorial talking about the code, how to customize it. This is like a really weird Raspberry Pi accessory. It's kind of like it solves an issue that you didn't know you had. If you have animatronics or props or costumes, you might want to have eyes that animate and move. So this will show you how to use a Raspberry Pi to add 2 really nice OpenGL rendered eyes
Yeah,
and
super cool.
Python code, so you can control it with a joystick. So you can have it react to light, or you can have it react to motion with the joystick, and you can customize the eyes. So like it has like human-y eyes, but you can also have like dragon eyes, or goat eyes, or Krampus eyes, or
Yes.
snake eyes, whatever you want. So I think we see a lot of people build the Teensy 3 eyes, but what's nice about this is it's like really powerful, and you get 2.
Yeah. Okay. And then next up, we just released this one. This is prescription Snapchat spectacles for DIY in STEM. So this is a guide on how to use your spectacles. This is this little wearable computer camera.
Hey,
And we have a little video that Timothy Treese made. So let's watch it.
I live in New York City, so when I heard Snapchat was selling their spectacles up on 59th Street, I went and bought a pair. However, these are sunglasses, and I need prescription. So I sent them off to Rochester Optical, and now I can see. I like them. The video's good, the audio is great. That's the mic you're hearing right now. The way that it stores the snaps is actually on the spectacles themselves, so you can use them standalone and then sync them up later with your phone. I don't know how much you can store. I don't know what the space is on the spectacles, but I've done quite a few and haven't run out yet. But my favorite part is just the hands-free nature. Right now I can, film and at the same time use my hands.
Okay. And then next up, we have a couple articles that we put on our site. So John OBC, who's one of the senior people here at Adafruit, put together an article. And this is kind of one of our maker business articles. We like to show our work. In fact, the original title was showing our work, but then I was talking to John, I'm like, hey, maybe we should say like how it's made. And I like having a writing partner. By the way, like when I used to write at Make, I really like teaming up with someone else, and I do that
with Gareth or
yeah, sometimes goalie. It just really depended on the person and the article we're doing. I kind of do that with you. I'll kind of show where I'm going with something, and most often you'll say like, you could probably take that part out because you sound crazy.
No, it's just editing. It's just like when you're
Yeah.
writing, you don't realize it's
Yeah.
you're focusing
I have run-on
on sentences.
sentences,
Yeah,
but-
you love commas.
Yeah.
You're a comma person.
Yeah, and I've also always liked lowercase, and everyone's catching up to me now.
I
Anyways,
love lowercase.
So it's how it's made. Adafruit Adavox, our subscription service, and John goes through like all the logistics and all the things that goes into doing a subscription service.
Like, how do you do a quarterly subscription
Yeah,
box? Like,
it's-
what if you want to make one? Well,
Yeah.
this is what goes into it.
So we're showing our work, and also Tom White is helping me with the Adafruit daily maker business newsletter. So you'll see his stuff there. And Tony Nicola is working on the MicroPython newsletter, which we had just launched before, but we also relaunched it because now we have CircuitPython. So another article, this one I wrote, it was going to be a learning guide. Maybe it should have been because it's a giant article, but it's how certain things work on the web. So Adafruit's pretty proud of this. We have do not track on Adafruit. So
Yeah.
if you have do not track, we respect it. And if you look in all your browser settings, and I go over that, I show every browser pretty much on how to enable do not track. Unfortunately, they say it's still up to the site to respect that or
Yeah.
not. Most sites don't. So if you are still
But
concerned,
we're expected to respect their robots.txt.
yeah.
Yeah, but they don't necessarily respect or do not track.
Yeah, so one
Cheers.
of the things that we wanted to be clear about is like, here's our privacy policy, here's all the places and all the things that we use, and then here's a very clear way so you can enable do not track, and then here's something like the EFF's privacy badger, and please use it on our site, and please use it on other sites, and see if the sites actually respect do not track or not. Because if you're using a website and you're not sure how it's working, you are probably the product. You're
Yeah.
probably getting tracked. And Facebook is kind of the worst out there and how they do things. And if you're using Privacy Badger on the Adafruit site, you'll notice that the YouTube embed is blocked. And you need to go to YouTube if you want to visit it. That's how crazy
Or
we
click
are.
through, yeah.
So anyways, we wrote that article, and we're proud of it. And Check out our privacy policy.
It's great.
How we respond to law enforcement. We've had to do that before. We just don't release customer data to anyone.
Yeah, they have to talk to our lawyers first.
Yeah, so...
They don't like doing that.
nope. They did not like
As they've
that.
expressed in the past.
We were difficult. So anyways, that's what we're all about. And, check it out and install Privacy Badger. It's a good idea. And when you visit friends and family, do the same thing too. Okay.
Yeah.
This is made in New York City. Here's a quick little video. Here's some laser cutting with some Kapton.
This is actually a custom stencil that we made to make the CircuitPython board easier to manufacture.
Yeah. And then this is neat. I think we played this a long time ago, but I'm playing it again. That way for it. And that's our Made in New York series for this week. Excuse me. Nimbus, the friendly cloud entity.
Hi, I'm Nimbus.
Hi, I'm gonna take your data. Maybe not.
I'm gonna hug it.
Your call. Okay. So here is Adafruit.io. It's still in alpha. We're gonna be launching it kind of officially soon, but you can go to Adafruit.io, and we have an Adafruit.io update. Beep, 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 beep. That's the update. 70 million inserts of log data in the last 7 days. 21,000 users.
Twice as many as we used to, right?
Yeah. 16,000 online feeds. 110 inserts per second via MQTT and 12 inserts per second via the REST API. We are humming along. 20,000 users.
I actually like that there's 56,000
21,000.
feeds. It means people are making feeds as they need them.
Yeah.
And then maybe they're not online all the time because it's like, well, you only need to log data for a certain amount of time.
Yeah. So I really like what's going on here. Okay. And of course we have our Internet of Things Bill of Rights, and you can go on GitHub and make suggestions and changes. We just had some ideas on if you have the Internet of Things device, maybe don't make the default login admin or password, and maybe make the data available if it's a public device, and maybe have feeds set up much like you do with like copyright, so you know what's going to happen to them and more, like Creative Commons and stuff. So anyways,
Yeah, just respect.
some ideas. Okay, 3D printing. Noah and Pedro printing up a storm. We have a couple of things this week. The first one is a little fidgety spinner, and then we have a time lapse. So let's watch the fidgety. wait, there's more.
Okay.
Time lapse. Okay, and don't forget every Wednesday, we now call it 3D Wednesday Hangouts. That's what we're doing now. Yeah.
Okay.
Next up, it's almost time, Lady Ada.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost our favorite time of the week. But before we go on to new products, don't forget code CircuitPython. 10% off a native store all the way up to 11:59 p.m. Eastern time.
Okay, I'm ready.
Save some cash.
We got
Support a cool company.
Some good new products.
Here it
this
comes. Here it comes.
week.
All right.
New.
All right.
Let's do this new.
Yeah. Okay. First up, it's a pin.
Yeah, this is the pin that went out with the AdaBox 2.
Yep.
So you can't get it. So it's actually kind of mean that we're putting it in a store, but I don't know, maybe people want to know what the product ID was so they can reference it. Like if you didn't get the pin, you would tell us, this is the PID, and we'd be able to send you a new one because you didn't get your AdaBox 2 or it was damaged or something. Anyways, we have this pin. It's lovely. It's a little AdaBot, and it's like silver with like a black epoxy fill. A really beautiful pin. If you're jealous and you want pins like this, sign up for AdaBox. AdaBox 3 will be going out a couple months, and it will come with another custom pin. Can't tell you what it is, the secret, but again, not available any other way.
Okay. Next up, this little caster thing.
It looks like caster was actually the button.
Yeah.
These are round top tactile buttons, and they're like so much more satisfying than you think. So I think what these are originally for are if you have an actuator that isn't like perfectly flat or isn't at a perfect angle. Like usually you have a flat top of the button and you just press down on it. But if you have an actuator that's coming in an angle, you can use these buttons. But they also just look really cool, and they're really satisfying. I can show them on the overhead.
Okay. Yeah, they're super clicky. I was going to show these nice photos
You can
first.
also show these nice photos.
Clicky.
Yeah, they're breadboard friendly. They're a standard like 6mm size basically, so you can use them wherever your 6mm.
Did they make? By the way, do they make ball casters this size? They just look like that though.
This is basically what a ball caster would be at that size.
Yeah.
But no, I haven't seen one this small.
Because it's not heavy enough for it to roll.
Well, it would, you'd have to have it not pressed down. You'd have to fill it with
Yeah. Anyways.
something to make it move around. But anyways, it's got this rounded top. It's very clicky. They fit into breadboards very easily. They look really neat, and they feel really good. So they're kind of like fancy. I mean, we still stock like the standard buttons, but these are fancy style for when you want to go fancy.
Yeah. And the button, the ball doesn't. Oh, it does roll.
It feels like it rolls, but it doesn't.
Oh, it feels like it rolls, but it doesn't. Because
No.
that's why I said caster. Because I was like, I wonder if they
No,
roll.
it's just like the actuator is just round.
Yeah, it feels like it does.
But you can hit it from the side.
Yeah.
So it just has this. That's what it's designed for when you have an angle actuator. But they just like look really neat.
Yeah.
So
These
you
are
use
cool.
it-
I like these buttons. This is my fidget toy. No one paid
Yeah,
for.
this is.
I'm just gonna do this.
Let's get some.
gonna
get some
press
clicking
this.
action. I'm gonna
Okay.
demonstrate the clicking.
That's what this sounds like.
Satisfying.
Yeah. Okay.
Very satisfying.
Next up, speakers.
Single speaker. We actually have been selling this as a double pack, but as stereo speakers, and like for our stereo bonnet and for other devices that have stereo output. But these are actually really nice little enclosed speakers. They're like laptop speakers because they're in a box, and so they have a better sound. They're very compact. They're easy to mount because they have mounting holes, and they have a JST cable on them. So in addition to having the stereo set, we also have the mono set, That's pretty much it. It's just like the 4 ohm, 3 watt speaker, so it's really loud.
Okay. And we just added this right before the show.
Yep, this is a new product from Esperino. They finished their Kickstarter, and so they sent us a bunch of these Puck.js. And so this is Esperino. It's JavaScript. So just like we have CircuitPython, that's Python, there's Esperino, which is an embedded JavaScript. In this case, it's running on an nRF52823, which is the latest version of Nordic Bluetooth chipset. It's a Cortex M4 processor with a ton of RAM, I think like 64K of RAM, 512K of flash. That little module is FCCC certified, and he also adds an accelerometer, RGB LEDs, I think a light sensor, temperature sensor, a couple other things. All runs off a coin cell. You know, that Bluetooth Low Energy chip is really low power, so you get JavaScript, Bluetooth. You can like connect to it and over Bluetooth and send it commands and program it. It's just really adorable.
It's never been a better time to learn electronics.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up.
And it comes in this great little case. Oh, you know what? Maybe I'll show. Do you mind if I show
tonight-
that on the overhead?
Yeah, let's go to the overhead.
Let's go back and show this.
Okay.
Because I want to show how small and cute it is. So it comes in this like rubbery case, and there's a little reset button, and this is a CR2032 battery, and then yeah, there's a magnetometer, accelerometer, maybe I don't know, IR receiver, I guess, maybe IR transmitter, red, green, blue LEDs. Maybe a thermistor here, and yeah, this is the Nordic NRF chipset. It's FCC certified. It has a couple of breakouts as well, but it's just like a really small, cute little thing. It even has a great little case, so super nice. So
Okay.
check it out.
All right. And then tonight, the star of the show, besides you, eyes.
This is the eyes bonnet for Raspberry Pi. It's weird. So this is a Philby creation. So he did the Teensy Eyes project, which was a Teensy 3.2 with a TFT or an OLED, and it could have like a kind of a basic animated eye, and you'd have to like convert the data into like a certain file format. It was kind of a pain. So he decided like, well, there's people who want to have 2 eyes, and maybe you want to have like really good OpenGL shading, and you know, you want to update the image of the eye much easier. You don't have to convert the file. So he basically ported it to Python and OpenGL, and it runs on a Raspberry Pi. We actually suggest a Pi 3. Even the photo shows a Pi 0. Pi 3 is the best. You'll get the best shading. And then you can use either 2 TFTs, as shown here, or you can use 2 OLEDs. We'll get some photo and video of OLEDs later. We just got to the TFT for now. The TFTs are less expensive, but they're not as high contrast, and the angle of viewability is not as great. But you know, you can use either one, decide which one. You also, of course, use only 1 eye. But of course, if you get 2 eyes, then there's 2 eyes.
Yeah.
And then the
You could do a Cyclops. You could do a Pirate.
yeah, so he actually has 2 SPI ports going. He uses a secret SPI port available on the Raspberry Pi that's like super secret, and he uses that to control each one of them with DMA independently. And on top of that, there's a analog digital converter and some breakouts. So if you want to use like a joystick or a light sensor, you can use a joystick to change the direction of the eyes.
The pupil will get smaller.
Yeah, the pupil will
with
dilate.
yeah,
I don't
it's
have
cool.
that demo set up.
Yeah.
But I
Okay, do you
want
wanna show this?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have
Well, we'll
this
go to the
basic-
overhead.
Basic demo. So here is,
I'm gonna have this go up,
yeah, okay.
and then I'll autofocus it. Yeah.
Thanks. So this is the Raspberry Pi 3, and this is the bonnet, and it's built up here, and then we have short cables. You can use longer cables if you want to embed this in something. And then here are the eyes, and they're just like super creepy. And then if you put a round lens on them, it kind of looks like an eyeball.
Yeah. If you watch the show and tell, Phil B showed these off, and he has those round.
So you can change the eyes. Or this is like human eyes, but you can change them to be like robot eyes, or like goat eyes, or demon eyes, or dragon eyes, or wolf eyes, or whatever you want. And this basically adds, it's surprising, it adds a lot of realism to cosplay props, or like Halloween spooky eye things, or if you're doing animatronics or robotics. Having these rendered eyes will make your robot or toy or prop or mask look really creepy and really cool, because it's an unusual thing to see. They're pretty realistic for like LED eyes, Much better than having just like an individual LED. And yeah, we'll have the OLED. The OLED version has better contrast. So you can see like as you angle it, the contrast isn't as good on the TFT, but it's a lower cost version. If people are only looking head on, it looks pretty good.
And will it work on a Pi Zero?
It will work on a Pi Zero, but it's not a smooth animation. It's kind of jumpy, and so we don't suggest it. We're going to try to optimize the code to work on a Pi Zero, but for best results, like a Pi 3 or Pi 2 will really get you the
Can
performance.
they be controlled independently easily?
I believe so. Check the tutorial because there's code for each one. They actually are on separate SPI ports. So even though they're like mirrored right now, kind of, they don't have to be. I think they can be controlled individually.
Okay. All right.
Like you can see, they're not actually completely identical. Like especially when they look to the side, there is a little bit of a difference in the way they look. So you can control the pupil direction with a joystick, and we'll get that demo going maybe for next week, and change the pupil diameter and a couple other things.
Yeah, it just reminds me of the scene I think in RoboCop 2 when the brain gets taken out of the guy. Anyways.
Yeah, so you can use
stuff.
yourself.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And with that, Lady Ada is those new products.
Yay!
You did it. Good work.
Yay!
Okay. So let's do some other stuff. Don't forget, CircuitPython is the code for tonight. 10% off in the Adafruit store all the way up to 11:59 p.m. tonight. Mm-hmm. And we have some top secret.
Okay.
It's not out yet. Don't ask. The Adafruit Vault. We opened it for you. What do you want to show?
Well, I can show the CircuitPython board first.
Okay. Yeah. This is this is one of the other renderings, and then we got this logo we're working on, and this is a cool part. Yeah, this is a cool part. You can write your name on it. This board belongs to, so it's like a little name taggy thing. And then you have a board that you wanted to show.
This
right?
is just the beta, but basically it's a lot like the Circuit Playground that you know and love. The difference is, well, there's going to be a couple differences, but there's no crystal, because you actually don't need a crystal on the SAMD. And then I moved some parts around to put in this chip. So this chip up here is a SPI flash chip. So when you plug it in, it looks like a 2 megabyte disk drive. And that's where you store your files, your Python files, and your source code, and your libraries. So it's really fun to just plug it in, and you're just like, it's a device. You just write code immediately. This one's actually like doesn't work. This is my one bad version. The accelerometer was an issue, but it still has the light sensor, temperature sensor, music, microphone, switch, 2 buttons, reset, accelerometer, and capacitive touchpads all around. The one change I'm looking to make soon is I got really good pricing on digital microphone. So the analog microphone here actually gives an analog voltage out, which is like only like 20 millivolts peak to peak. And it has to go through an analog amplifier to get to the chip, analog in. If I can replace it with a digital microphone, and the digital microphone has good enough gain, I can get rid of all of this analog circuitry and make some space and maybe add another sensor. Wouldn't that be nice? And I save a little bit of money too because I don't have to pay for the 15 cents of analog components here. So it's coming soon.
Okay. What else you got?
And then I got this really fun prototype. This is a AAA battery Featherwing. So it's just kind of cute. A AAA battery is exactly the same size as a Featherwing. There's a little boost converter on the bottom to give you 3.3 volts. And it can run, this boost converter is nice. It can run as low as 0.9 volts. And the only change I'm going to make is right now, I'm going to change this to have a switch so you can turn it on and off.
Okay. All right. Is that all that's not out yet? Don't ask?
Yeah.
Okay. Back in the vault. Get back in the vault. Back in the vault. All right. We're going to do some questions. So post your questions up in the chats. We'll get to them as fast as we can. And we'll try to answer all of them. Please put your question in the form of a question with words. And
Yes,
nouns and
please
verbs.
use your words.
Use your words. Jerry, use your words.
And try to...
I made Lady Ada watch Sphere
You did.
over the holiday break.
Yeah, we watched a lot of movies.
Yeah. Also, Sunshine, which was a...
That was a weird one.
Yeah, we also watched Solaris.
No, we didn't.
You overheard Solaris.
I overheard Solaris.
Yeah, both of them. And then there was...
We watched King of Kong,
yeah,
and we watched the Stuxnet
yeah,
documentary.
yeah,
It was a fun time. We just
Yeah.
sat around and watched movies.
yeah,
That's why no hard work got done.
yeah. Okay. Someone wants to know, did anyone hear about the $150 monoprice 3D printer? I haven't tried it out yet.
I know there's like a
Yeah.
no, they have like a $250 printer, but I don't know if it was down to $150. I know there's a guy who showed up last week to the show and tell, and he made a board that would replace the guts of those cheap printers because they're not safe. He says he doesn't like that. It doesn't have proper wire gauges and protection circuitry. So he made a new driver board for $50 so you can upgrade your printer and make it better.
Okay, I'm building a Pi Girl 0. When I turn on the Pi, the Pi TFT goes white. The solder joints are fine. Is it the kernel? What's the problem here?
It could be soldering. It's the most likely thing that could happen. It does take a while to boot. So maybe wait, and it should turn black, and then eventually it'll pop up. The Pi Zero takes like about a minute to boot. If you're still having issues, post in the forums, but it's like 99% of the time, it's soldering.
Okay. Is the only actual difference between the Trinket 5 volt and 3 volt the voltage regulation?
It's almost the only difference. There's a little bit of level shifting on the USB data lines for the Trinket 5 volts. And the power supply, the design's a little bit different because the VBAT and USB power goes into the regulator a little different. So it is different layout, different schematic.
Okay. Are you going to see the movie Hidden Figures? Yeah, probably. I'll probably wait till it comes out on a downloadable, viewable thing because we don't get out that much. Next up, can you hook up a speaker to the Pi Zero without a hat or any other type of separate circuit?
You always need to have either an I2S amplifier to take digital input, or you can connect like a speaker through another amplifier with. I have a learn guide about how to make take the analog out from I think pin 18 or pin 19, and you do the RC circuit. But which needs a couple components, but it won't drive an amplified speaker. It can drive like headphones, but if you want to drive an amplified speaker, you need an amplifier to do so.
Okay, what's a cheap way to display video and audio? Like a million ways.
How to display it?
It's a cheap way. Video and audio. I mean,
a TV is good.
Yeah, I mean, there's a million ways to do it now.
Get a TV that somebody's throwing out, a monitor.
Yeah. Okay. Is there any way to get 5 volt power to a PAR motion sensor on a feather huzzah while using a battery pack? I'm currently pulling from the USB pin that only works when USB powered.
You can grab this is the thing. It's like it's not really designed for 5 volt devices, but most PIRs, you can power them from 3 volts. You can also try powering it from the VBAT pin because that'll be 4.2 volts, and that way you can use it. But try just powering it from 3.3. It might work. It might work just fine.
Okay. More of a general question. I'll generalize this one. What are good resources for people who want to learn electronic design? Books, projects, what?
A lot is building it yourself. There's great video tutorials online. I think pick a project you want to build, and then just as you build it, when things go wrong, try to solve them. Figure out why it's not working out. Because a lot of the difference between making and engineering is understanding why something didn't work.
Okay. I got a Circuit Playground from Radio Shack. That's right. They're now at Radio Shack.
Yay.
And I got a super cool silver sticker inside.
Yeah.
Do you sell them? No. They're only
Yes, we do sell them, but only when you buy Circuit Playground from Radio Shack.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's part of our new packaging.
Okay. Next up. I'm outside the U.S. and been having some problems with a local vendor to get some stuff. Playground Pi Zero kits. Any suggestions? Maybe try DigiKey.
Yeah, DigiKey will ship internationally.
Yeah.
You do always have to pay customs value, import fees, whatever, but DigiKey will sell nationally, and you can always...
And then also go to adafruit.com/distributors,
Yeah.
and we have pretty much distributed everywhere.
Yeah, we have a lot. And so a lot of countries, we have multiple distributors.
Okay. How do you use a 1.44-inch TFT for RetroPie or as a computer? Well, we have a whole tutorial and guide for that.
Yeah, it's tough for the 1.44. It's really too small.
Yeah.
You want to use the 1.8. That's the smallest.
Yeah, but
display,
we have a guide if you just want to put stuff on it.
Yeah, you can. I mean, you can use this
Yeah.
eyes bonnet. This is using a 1.44-inch TFT.
Yeah.
So you can display stuff on it, but it's just going to be tough. You're not going to see a lot.
Yeah. Okay. Where are some of your favorite places to buy electronic components?
I like buying stuff from DigiKey Online and Mauser and Arrow. Those are kind of where I buy the most of them.
Yeah.
I used to like buying them from the discount sites like MPJA.
Yeah.
Those are just crazy. What you buy, you're not going to get it again. It's a
Yeah.
one-time thing. American Science and Surplus is also kind of cool. Surplus shops.
Yeah.
You just get weird stuff. I mean, it's not going to work, but it's only 20 cents, 50 cents. So who cares?
Is it a common practice for you to reverse engineer products? If so, how do you do so?
We do teardowns,
Yeah.
and we show videos. You can check out our YouTube channel and search for teardown. We've done tons, and
Yeah.
I learned a lot by looking at like what chipsets are people using. Like the accelerometer that we use on Circuit Playground, I kept seeing it on the teardown, so I was like, okay, this must have been
Yeah.
a pretty good accelerometer.
This is my observation of watching you do reverse engineering. Usually you don't learn techniques for engineering, you learn cost optimization because they're mass producing these things and you're like, that's a really, someone tried to get the bill of materials cost lower.
Yeah.
This is a good thing to look
You'll
at.
definitely learn about components and like, you won't learn about like the code necessarily because again, you're not going to reverse engineering the code, but you will
Yeah.
learn what components they picked and so what components you might want to pick. You'll see design decisions like, you know, some things you'll see when they tried to do something and didn't succeed. Oh, it's all sorts of stuff. But
Okay.
check all the teardowns because I go through it when we do the teardowns.
Okay. Those are all the questions for tonight.
Great.
And as someone pointed out, right now Circuit Playground is in many Radio Shacks, but you'll see a lot more Adafruit products hitting many of the Radio Shacks now. They're in channel. They're in play, as they say. Okay. That was the question for tonight. Let's do trivia.
Okay.
Lady, what do you want to give away tonight?
I actually want to give away one of the Espruino Puck.js's because those are cool.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to do a trivia question. Lady, what are the rules?
Rules are if you've won something before on this show, you can't win again. Only one winner per my lifetime. The prize tonight is the Puck.js Espruino board. It's so cool. Bluetooth, JavaScript, support Espruino. They're great. And
Okay.
whoever answers the question that Phil asks in whatever chat he sees
That's
is
right.
the winner. He gets to
Okay.
decide. He's the decider.
Yeah, I'm the
It's his
decider.
call.
Yeah, apparently it is. Okay, so tonight's trivia question is, Lady Ada had some words on her shirt. What did her shirt say? Many people noticed in the chat. Let's see how well they noticed. Let's see. Not 42. Not Jordy LaForge. Good guess, though. What did Lady Ada's shirt say? I guess I can look over on the Instagram.
It's really hard
Yeah,
to
it's
see. But it's going to scroll off.
Oh, here we go. Congratulations, Terry McLean. You got it. Bitbanger. Lady Ada, show your shirt. No one Pedro got you that shirt. You
Yeah,
always
they got
wanted
me
a
this shirt for Christmas.
Yeah. So
says
congratulations. You won. So Terry McLean, when you email support@adafruit.com, tell them that you won PID 3372. That'll
Yeah.
help them and it'll help you.
And enjoy it.
Yeah. So
Do something fun.
Yeah, 3372. Email support@adafruit.com and tell them you won the
Puck.js.
Puck.js. Okay, that's our show for tonight, folks. Thank you so much, as always. We're here every single week, every Wednesday at 7:30 for Show and Tell, every Wednesday at 8 p.m. for Ask an Engineer. Special thanks to everyone out there, the remote team members, the Adafruit team members. We had a record number of viewers tonight, over 1,000 something concurrent views on YouTube.
Wow.
Live viewers.
That's cool.
That's pretty amazing. Neat. I guess we're doing something interesting. So that's our show for this evening. We'll see everyone soon. Don't forget the code is CircuitPython. 10% off the Adafruit store until 11:59 p.m. And here's the picture of a cat.
Meow.
Here's your moment of Zener.
Don't forget to catch us on Desk Lady Ada and other
Yeah,
fun video
probably right.
shows
And
for
then,
more new stuff.
I'm going to close out tonight with a little tour video that we shot with this drone. Actually, before I do that, I'll do one thing. So the video you're about to see, I got this little drone. It's a camera, so I can do some aerial shots here in the factory, but I didn't want to like flying blender that hurt people. So this is called the hover camera, and it's basically like a flying selfie camera. I don't know if I charged my batteries up. I think I did, yeah. So one neat thing about it, and I just wanted to show this on the show real quick, is there isn't a lot that you have to do. You can just turn it on, and then...
Okay, it's booting.
Yeah, then let it sit there, and then when you get your phone out is when you can start to control it. And I'm not going to do that, but I just like that, it's that easy to use. And then when you want to... Done.
Okay, I like how it folds up like a book. It's so cute.
Yeah. So anyways, that's the little drone that I shot some footage that I'm about to play right now. So see y'all next week. Bye-bye.
Later.